What up, though, fellas? Back at it again with another video. Because, we improving every day. Nah, if you watched yesterday's video, then you already know what today's video is about. I had a subscriber send me an email with 2 questions in it. I talked about the first question yesterday, and today I'm going to be talking about his second question. So, his second question in the email was, how, in my opinion, how does one develop masculine energy? You know what I'm saying? How does one develop that masculine fortitude? You know what I'm saying? That testicular fortitude, as some people like to call it, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Josh Bryant. Fire truck passing me. So I got 5 things that I want to tell y'all, man. 5 things that have helped me personally. I'm not just talking out of theory. I'm telling y'all things that actually helped me from my experience. So I'm gonna give y'all 5 things. Number one, and I've touched on this a few times, get engaged in some kind of physical activity, bro. Some kind of physical activity. You know what I'm saying? Personally, for me, I'ma always recommend getting into lifting some weight, throwing some weight around. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about physical activity is that it'll force you to exercise your will. It'll force you to bring out a different version of you that you've never brought out before. That's if you really putting in work. You could half-ass a weightlifting session and just be going through the motions, but if you really putting in work, you really pushing yourself. I'm not saying push yourself too hard, you ain't trying to get injured, but if you are consciously and smartly pushing your limits, then you will find a version of you that was deep inside of you that you've probably never discovered before, if you don't already like lift weights, especially heavy weights. But it's not only lifting weights. I would definitely suggest getting into some getting into combat sports if you can. You know what I'm saying? Anything, karate, taekwondo, any kind of martial art, mixed martial arts, boxing, you know what I'm saying? Anything of that nature, combat sport, getting hit in the face a few times, practicing that, developing that, not only will, just engaging in combat increase your masculine energy, but the fact of knowing how to protect yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of guys who know they don't know how to protect themselves, excuse that son, bro, y'all gonna have to deal with it. A lot of guys who know they don't know how to protect themselves, they'll act out. They'll act out and they'll try to come off real big and bad, trying to scare people off because they know they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to scrap. If somebody came with them hand-to-hand combat, they wouldn't know what to do. So a mixed martial art would be great for you, you know what I'm saying? Or boxing, anything of that nature, learning how to fight. Or, like I said, lifting weights. Lifting weights would be great for you. Also, sports, just regular sports, basketball, preferably contact sports. So your basketballs, your footballs, or American football, I should say. Soccer, what we call soccer, that's kind of a contact sport too. I ain't gonna lie. But really, any high impact, high speed sports that will enforce competition. Even a sport like tennis, you know what I'm saying? Very high action, high speed, tennis, that could bring out some masculine energy in a man just because you have to tap into that competition, that competitive state of mind, you know what I'm saying? So that's number one. Getting into some kind of physical activity and or a mixed martial art. Number 2 is going to be understanding what masculine body language, what masculine mannerisms, what masculinity looks like exteriorly. Understand it, and then but actually force yourself to act out those things, even if they feel unnatural. You know what I'm saying? So what do I mean by that? Let's say you got some really poor posture. You sit like this, you stand like this, hunched over with your neck sticking out. You know what I'm saying? You walk real frail. You walk like you weak. You know, force yourself to stand up tall. It's going to be uncomfortable in the beginning. If you have bad posture, forcing yourself into good posture is going to be uncomfortable because your body has been adjusted to one thing and now you're trying to readjust it to something else. But that's just one example. You know, force yourself to sit with better posture. Sit with better posture, stand with better posture. You know what I'm saying? Understand how, as men, we should be talking from our diaphragms and not talking from our throat, but talking from our diaphragms. You know, force yourself to breathe and talk from your diaphragm. It'll feel uncomfortable at first, but you'll get used to it after a while. You know what I'm saying? That'll help you tap into your deepest potential when it comes to your speaking voice. You know, actually talking from your stomach and not talking from your throat. You know what I'm saying? And those are just two examples. You know what I'm saying? But understand masculine body language. You know what I'm saying? Watch some videos. Watch some movies. You know, how are you walking? How are you standing? How are you sitting? How are you talking? How does your face look while you speak? You know, be conscious of those things. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to get this down, you know, that's what I did. I would pay attention to what my face was doing while I was talking to people. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I can't see my face, but I can feel it. You know? So if I was interacting with somebody, I would feel like what my eyebrows are doing, what my eyelids are doing. I had this bad habit of when I would talk to people, I would raise I have my eyebrows raised up like this, you know, for whatever reason. But throughout time, as I recognized that as an issue, I corrected it. You know what I'm saying? So that's number two. Understanding masculine mannerisms, masculine body language, masculine behaviors, and force yourself into those behaviors and into those mannerisms until they feel natural. Now, my number three tip is going to be listening, reading, and watching more infotainment from masculine men. So what do I mean by that exactly? You know, just doing stuff like this, going on YouTube and watching, you know, the right self-improvement coaches, you know, or the right dating coaches. You know, if you'll know when those guys are really masculine, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they OGs, you know what I'm saying? You'll know when them guys are masculine. You know, just start listening to them more. Listen to them talk. You know, watch them on video. Man, I hate dudes who drive Chargers, bro. They drive like they were talking. Well, I can't say that word. They drive like they crazy. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Just start taking in more information, more content from masculine men, and it even breaks out into books. You know what I'm saying? You could start reading books on self-improvement for men, or even if you like fiction books, you know, you could read fiction books that have masculine story, or not a masculine storyline, but have main characters that are centered around, you know, masculinity. You know, maybe a war story or gladiator stories, you know, whatever it may be. Y'all understand what I'm saying, man? So taking in information, taking in content from masculine men, or taking in content that's rooted in masculinity. So like fiction stories, or watching movies like Denzel Washington's The Book of Eli. It's a great movie that you will notice a lot of masculine behaviors from him. Not only physical behaviors, but emotional and mental behaviors as well. Book of Eli. You know, that's just one good example I could think of right now. But yeah, man, y'all get it by now. So my number four tip on how to develop more masculine energy is simply talk to more women, bro. You know, and I'm not saying you got to walk up and have a conversation with every chick you meet. I mean, you could try that if you want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing against it, you know, to each his own, but just talk to more women. You know what I'm saying? When you at the store and you getting your stuff rang up, and it's a lady is your, and that dude just ran a red light. It's a lady ringing up your stuff. You know, have a little very brief conversation. You know, just say, hey, how your day going? You know, if the store is kind of empty, you know, you can say, you know, it's been a slow day, huh? I know you ready to clock out of here. You know, just little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you see a chick in the store, you know, you don't gotta be trying to pull her number or nothing like that. Just talk to more women. And why is that a thing that I say you should do? Because femininity has a way of bringing masculinity out of a man, the same way masculinity brings femininity out of a woman. So as when you talk to women, over time, once you notice, like I said, pay attention to your behaviors when you're talking to people. But as you talk to women, you'll start to notice some of the maybe things you do that aren't so grounded, that aren't so calm, that aren't so centered, and then you'll recognize them. And what will happen over time, as you talk to more women, you'll get more comfortable with it. As you get more comfortable with being in that feminine energy, your masculine energy will be easier to not bring out because it's already in you, but it'll show itself more. Your masculine energy will show itself more as you get used to talking to women. You know what I'm saying? And my number 5 tip, my 5th tip on how to develop more masculine energy is something that I touch on frequently. Stop masturbating all the time. Stop watching porn, bro. Stop wasting your seed on videos, man. Stop wasting your seed on videos, man. Because your seed is your testicular fortitude. You know what I'm saying? Your seed is your testicular fortitude, your masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? Your testosterone. And so when you constantly wasting it, you constantly busting it all over wherever you busting it at, we ain't got to get into that. But when you constantly wasting it, constantly just letting the cannon fire over and over again, you know, 3 times a week, once a day. Some of y'all be busting like 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? You got to cut that, bro. And you'll immediately notice as you quit masturbating on such a frequent basis. You know, you could be like some guys like me, I quit altogether. But, you know, let's just say for the sake of conversation, you just stop beating it so frequently. You know, say you're trying to progress into stopping masturbating completely, but you want to take it slow. So let's say over time you start masturbating less and less. You'll notice just how more masculine you feel. And you might not even understand what the feeling is, but it's that masculine energy being festered inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you stop watching pornography. You know what I'm saying? Because pornography rots a man's brain. You know, pornography, especially when you masturbate to it, when your dopamine receptors are constantly getting fired to this artificial form of sex, you start to just look at life differently. You know what I'm saying? You look at women differently. You look at yourself differently. You know, your self-esteem is likely to decrease if you constantly watching dudes with like, you know, 13-inch meat, you know, rail these chicks that are cosmetically designed to look, you know, like American ideal of perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a setup of failure. Any spaces in my favorite parking lot? Hope so. But yeah, man, stop beating your meat, especially the pornography, and you will find immediately that any natural masculine energy that's been hidden behind the curtain will come to light. You know what I'm saying? So those are my 5 tips on how to develop more masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? Number 1 was take up some kind of physical activity or some kind of combat sport, and or, you know, much better if you even get to do both. You know what I'm saying? Number 2 was understanding masculine mannerisms, masculine body language, you know, masculine behaviors, and force yourself to do them even if they don't feel natural at first, just to get yourself in that mind frame, you know, because it's a cause and effect between the body and the mind. You know, not only does your mind affect your body, but your body can affect your mind. You know what I'm saying? Just like even mentally, if I'm very open, you know, to people, if I go in a public place and I just sit down like this with my arms folded, that's closed off body language. Having that closed off body language can make me mentally closed off. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna get into it. I ain't about to give y'all a scientific lesson, but you know, y'all get what I'm saying. So that was number 2. Number 3 was taking in more content from masculine men, or taking in more content that's rooted in masculinity. So listening to masculine men just talk, have conversation, watching videos of masculine men, you know, talking about self-improvement, or talking about women, or talking about dating, you know, talking about whatever. And my parking lot is full today. Guess I gotta park on the street today. Yeah, that was number 3. Number 4 is this person coming out. Actually, another thing to add with number 3, bro, is that your music matters as well. Your music matters as well. You know what I'm saying? If you are sitting up listening to Drake all day, you know, you sitting up listening to simp music all day long, then that's going to affect the way you think. Oh, here we go. I got lucky today. That's going to affect the way you think, you know. And I don't got nothing against Drake. I actually like Drake. And my elbow ashy. I like Drake. But I can only listen to so much Drake because he doesn't resonate with who I am, you know, as a man. You feel what I'm saying? Because he sings so much, just like so much crying and complaining, and I need my girl back, and you know, I done got a stripper pregnant, and I need my porn star girlfriend back, and all this other stuff that I just can't rock with. You feel me? And the space type, I could rock with it though. You feel me? Yeah, that's number 3. Number 4 was just talking to more women, bro. As you get used to being around feminine energy, your masculine energy will naturally show itself. You know, your masculine energy will naturally let itself shine, because the polarity exists for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Feminine and masculine are actual things. They're not just social constructs. They're actual things. You know what I'm saying? That's why a masculine man can bring the femininity out of, you know, some of these hard-nosed, you know, being feminine is bad, you know, women who act like a lot of these, like women who try to act hella strong, these women who try to act like dudes. You know, a masculine man could bring the femininity out of her, just as a feminine man, excuse my car, bro. Just as a feminine woman can bring masculinity out of a man. So talk to more women. And then number 5 was stop masturbating and stop watching so much porn. You are messing up your hormones. You messing up your dopamine receptors. You messing up your ability to make connections with women. Because when you bust, it's not only dopamine. After you bust, you emit oxytocin. And oxytocin is essentially a pair bonding hormone or chemical. And so when you bust and you release all this oxytocin to pornography, you're essentially pair bonding with the porn. That's why when guys watch so much pornography, they lose the ability to even feel feminine energy. They lose the ability to make any kind of connection with women, because they've pair bonded with this. They've pair bonded with acting. You know what I'm saying? They've pair bonded with a computer screen or a phone screen. I don't think dudes is watching porn on computers anymore, but you know, I don't know. Who's to say? Yeah, man. So let me just readjust myself. F-150 kind of big over there. But yeah, man, we done with this video. 20 minutes long. Hope that helped y'all, man. If you're watching the video, man, I hope I answered your question. You know, satisfied your question, you know what I'm saying? Answer that question to the best of my ability while I was driving. You know, I didn't have no kind of notes in front of me or nothing like that. But, you know, that's the topic for the day, man. I hope y'all have a wonderful Saturday. You know, if y'all going out, y'all staying in, running some errands, doing some work, whatever you're doing, man, have a peaceful and prosperous Friday evening, bro. Or afternoon, depending on where you live, or night. You know what I'm saying? That's the topic for the day, man. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace.